Okay, welcome back guys. It's a best of 5 show match between Jordan and Hera, and the game's actually started, so let's get right into it. We have got Jordan on the left of the map in green, playing as the Aztecs, and it's a mirror match today. The map is Arabia. We've got Hera on the right playing in blue, also as the Aztecs. Just right off the bat, actually, looking at Hera's base, it's really wallable. It's got lovely back gold here, lovely back berries, incredibly easy to wall on this map for Hera. Jordan, on the other hand, terrible map. He's got such a huge open front base there. He does have the berries at the back. They're fairly well protected, and he should be able to wall from this wood line to that. I mean, he could wall to the TC, to be fair. It's not actually that horrendous, but he does have a nasty couple of hills in front of his golds there, so that'll be very tricky in the late game, or mid to late game. But it does have a very exposed front, so he might need to be a bit aggressive here. And we'll see how this one pans out. But Aztec's mirror match, it'll be a good one to watch, I reckon. Hera finding all of his herdables. Just about to find his elephant as well, I think. And he should be able to scout, hopefully, these two front goals and how exposed they can be. A castle drop on those hills would be incredible for Hera, that's for sure. We'll see what kind of opening they have. I wonder whether Hera might go for a Drush FC, or whether he'll commit to perhaps a strong Eagle Rush. Of course, a really viable strategy with the Aztecs. Or perhaps a man-at-arms into Eagle Rush. We'll see what they do. It's too early to tell. Hera getting his first boar elephant there. We've got Jordan pushing in his deer. His deer are quite nicely placed for that, actually. Hera's are a bit further out, but not too terrible. Nothing troublesome for a player of Hera's skill level, that's for sure. Okay, we've got Hera's Eagle Scout going forward. He's going to see parts of the base now. Let's see what he sees at the moment. He sees not all that much. He's just found the two houses, the front of the base and the front gold. We'll see how this develops as the game goes on. Okay, looking good so far. But guys, just so you know, this show match is hosted by Sizu. You guys probably know him quite well by now. He's hosting a couple of tournaments, so do check him out. And yeah, thanks for Sizu for setting this all up. It's going to be a great one, I think. Alright, and Jordan getting his second for the elephant coming in. Four on wood for Jordan is going to his berries, and Hera's had plenty of time now to scout. He sees a lot of the map. He recognises that he's quite open, Jordan is. See what he goes for as an opening. He's placing the barracks now. Both at 19 population, minimal idle TC time as expected for these two high level players. I say high level, but you know, professional level players. Okay, Jordan's going up Bloom and 21 population for both players. Looks like Hera's going to start off with his walling now as well. Nice juicy back gold there with the mining camp being placed, and Jordan's up to feudal age, and Hera is going 22 pop up. Is getting his loom now, and sending a good few villagers to wood. I wonder whether we'll see militia queued up for Hera. Hera has mentioned recently that he doesn't perhaps like the man-at-arms opening as much as he used to. But we do see militia being queued up, and also it was there for a second as well for Jordan, but I think he's unclicked that. And Hera starting to get his walls down there on the right. Keeping his militia in the barracks, doesn't want to reveal them just yet or expose them. He's going to send them forward now, and yeah, he's going to be walled up pretty soon. But it might not be walled up in time. Actually, it will be, because Jordan isn't actually going for any army just yet. And he just manages to keep that Eagle Scout away from that wood line. And there we are, Jordan's up to feud age. He's going to drop a archery range, which Hera sees immediately, of course. Looks like Jordan is going for the counter to the militia that are going to come through. I suspect Hera might be upgrading these to man-at-arms. And perhaps he might be going for an archer follow-up. But Jordan actually making the best of a bad situation with the map being quite open. He's put his production buildings in front of that gold, really protecting it well. And actually it looks like this woodline is thick enough that archers perhaps won't be able to range it. Might be able to cause a bit of harassment by putting some archers there on either side of the woodline. But actually Jordan might be quite safe taking that wood. Blacksmith going down, Jordan probably going to be looking to get fletching ASAP. But the militia going around might be looking to try and hit something at the berries or the back woodline. But Jordan's got that under control, then he's walling in those villages. Back at home, Hera is almost walled up. And looks like he's actually going for Eagle Scouts. Not choosing to upgrade his militia to man-at-arms just yet. He probably recognises he's perhaps not going to get that much value as he once hoped. And so he's opting not to upgrade those. And yeah, these archers will actually just micro down these militia. So I think at this stage, Jordan is a little bit ahead in terms of the army composition and the fact that he's managed to pick off militia without losing anything. It looks like Hera is going to go and transition to Eagle Scouts. And looks like a straight archer rush for Jordan here. He does have fletching now as well, so he's going to be able to move out with this pretty comfortably. He's got about 5 archers so far, and he's going to go around. But the good thing for Hera is because of the base, he's been able to wall up really well. He's getting his blacksmith down as well, and the food count is looking solid for Hera, placing those farms nice and quickly. Perhaps looking to go to Castle Age where he can upgrade those Eagle Scouts. Eagle Warriors. Keeping them back at home for now. Doesn't want to reveal his hand if he can, just yet. The one bad thing for Hera is that this is actually rangeable, so Jordan might get a villager pick here or two, and he will deny that wood line, and it's a bit tricky here. Hera might not have a safe wood line here. Does have this wood line at the front, which is possibly usable. This is a bit of an issue for Hera. Kind of a bit behind with losing the militia without causing too much damage. Not the end of the world, that easily recoverable. But he's going to perhaps go forward now with his Eagle Scouts to do some damage of his own, and he can actually take this wood comfortably just on the line. The Hera is going to drop a market. You might be thinking of buying yourself up to Castle Age, maybe selling the stone. We'll see what he does, maybe for a 1TC play. A second barracks going down for Jordan. He might be making a switch as well. Looks like the Eagle Scouts actually are going to come back for Hera. Or maybe not, actually. And I've caught 2 mines going back and forth. He's going to go for that front wood line. I think Hera just wants to wait till castle age where he can upgrade these Eagle Scouts to Eagle Warriors and really cause some damage. Yeah, and that's exactly what Hera does. He sells the stone to get up to castle age that much quicker. Hope you guys are enjoying this show match, and welcome guys for those who are hopping in for the first time. Hope you have some fun in this show match. Best of 5. We'll go through a little bit of the map pool after this first game. Looks like Jordan's going to try and get in the Palisades there. He kind of had a bit of time shooting down that house with no luck getting in, of course. But now he's causing some pressure. Yep, looks like Hera's going to go for an all-in sort of approach, or 1 TC, that's for sure. At least for the time being, with Eagles selling that stone. Jordan going in for gold mining. He's getting his horse color upgrade and he's getting his castle age. But he's not actually too far behind. But the thing about this situation is Hera has sold that 200 stone. Gives him a little bit of extra resources to focus on getting Eagle Warriors. And for a big push in early castle age, I suspect. And this will be a problem actually for Jordan. I think he will lose these because, of course, Hera probably has enough to take the fight now. And he's going to be sort of up with Eagle Warriors anyway very soon. And I think Jordan's going to lose these mass. Going to want to try and get a villager pick or two. Picks one. Oh, the gate didn't get built, which kind of sucks. Just going to try and micro this down. Maybe get a second villager. And this is actually decent value. All things considered. It's actually great value considered. He could have lost this all for free. The 3 villagers go down with the archers. Maybe a 4th? No. Hera saves that villager with plenty of HP. But now is a problem for Jordan because he sees the Eagle Warriors coming in. Well, they're Eagle Scouts now, but the Eagle Warrior upgrade is inevitable. And Hera is going for a 3rd barracks. Has a solid-ish eco behind this. Is getting iron casting as an upgrade. Jordan going for more of an eco approach with a TC at the back there. And yeah, this is going to be early aggression for Hera. Jordan is going for the long swordsman upgrade with squires. Getting a TC at the back. I think Jordan might be a bit of trouble with these goals being so far forward and on the hill. If Jordan gets pinned in here, it will be a problem. Hera will perhaps establish some map control, and I think this early aggression from Hera is really useful for his side of things, because if he gets the early pressure and develops map control, he's denied Jordan from these 2 front golds and stones. As we said at the beginning of the game, the map is a bit horrible for Jordan here. But I hope you guys are enjoying the game so far. This is a lot of Eagle Warriors. Jordan probably recognizes that Hera must be 1 TC in at this point. If Jordan can keep this out for as long as possible, try and boom behind this a little bit, he might be able to push back. But Hera in no mood to hang around. He's going to use the market a bit, buying some food, selling some wood, getting that gold count up, and really ramping up production with 3 barracks production. And that home looking good now. Did lose a couple of villagers early on, but he's really ramping up production and looks like he really wants to do damage here. Jordan going for a monk defense as well, and doing really well to keep this out, as you'd expect. Be interesting to see what Hera does behind this now, because he's probably assuming that Jordan is on 2 TCs, and I think the play is for a second, or a siege workshop probably from Hera here will do wonders for him. And yeah, that's exactly what he's doing, and what a great placement for that. Of course, in between the gold and the stone, again, getting the map control. And the problem for Jordan here is he's going to need to build up a big push to push this back at some point so he can grab these extra resources. Without these extra resources, he'll really struggle. And possibly Hera might be going for some scorpions, some mangonels, some siege just to break his way in. Hera going for the 1 TC push. So many villagers on gold. That gold mining, beautiful. Look at the efficiency there. But Jordan has got good counters, going for the long swords with monks as well behind. And this is not really a fight that Hera can take. And looks like Jordan will be able to push this back. He needs to get rid of this siege workshop before it causes some damage. And also this monastery, you'd want to get rid of that. But there's a lot of Eagle Scouts, and at one point the numbers, the sheer numbers, will just overwhelm even the longswords. And it looks like Hera's taking that fight now. This is a good fight for Hera, purely because of the numbers. I mean, it's going to be Jordan losing a lot of military here, and I think this 1TC push from Hera is going to work. It looks like it looks difficult for Jordan, losing that big fight. I think that might be a game-changing fight there. Oof. Yeah, crazy. So Hera actually opted for getting the second attack upgrade over the armor. Jordan didn't really have much in the way of upgrades for those longswords. He only had the first armor upgrade. And so the numbers as well as the upgrades for Hera really pulling through. And the Palisades won't last for very long, and the Eagle Warriors are going to flood in. And I think this spells a problem for Jordan. I'm not sure Jordan's going to be able to hold this on. He's going to be overwhelmed here. And doesn't even have that much in the way of gold. That will eventually run up fairly close, very soon. And he's just map control here is in Hera's favor. Got Scorpions to back this up as well. Jordan's got a Mangonel. Let's see if he can get a good shot away. Gonna need to make it count here. Every kind of engagement's gonna count. And the Mangonel works well to get rid of that Scorpion at least. Jordan doing well to get the longsword numbers back up again, but he's going to want to get some upgrades. Doesn't really have the eco for it just yet. I would say if Jordan can hold on, he is up at 55 villages. 10 more than Hera, but the military is looking really good for Hera. Not only in numbers, but in upgrades as well. He's got really good map control. Going for some monks of his own. Hera to heal up his Eagle Warriors. An Eagle Warrior diving in just to get some scouting info, I think. Just to see what Jordan might be doing. I wonder whether we have a hole in the palisade here. I think Jordan is banding out a little bit, getting a outpost there on the right. But yeah, he's going to run out of gold soon, and that's going to be a big problem. So Jordan is actually holding on now, and this is actually a decent sign for him because he does have the longswords. So if he can hold on and just keep producing from the 2 TCs and develop a stronger eco, he does have a way back into this. Only concern I have is that gold. Gonna need to secure some gold very soon. He's gonna go for another fight, but Hera does have a couple of monks here and should get a couple of conversions. Jordan has the first attack upgrade. Again, Hera's numbers and the upgrades. This is another bad fight for Jordan. And I think we might see the GG fairly soon because of this fight here. There we are. There is the GG for the first game for the best of 5, hosted by our very own Sizu. Let's have a look at the statistics, shall we? Really interesting game. I think that early aggression from Hera really paid off with the 1TC push and took some really good fights. Jordan did good pressure with those archers, managed to get a couple of ills. But it just wasn't enough in the end. I think the big thing is that Hera managed to keep his army alive for a long time. Hera managed to get up to castle age quicker, obviously abusing the market a bit. And a really solid performance from both players. In particular, Hera doing incredibly well for that game. Alright guys, we're going to be right back for the second game of the set. Catch you guys really soon. So guys, it's the second game of the set between Jordan versus Hera. The map is Nomad. The players have picked Persians and Malians, with Jordan picking Persians and Hera with the Malians. And it's a bit of a nuts opening because they're both literally next to each other. Both have actually managed to get a ball, which is good. And the weird thing is they've both got some Ibex as well, so they've got decent amount of food income. But they are literally right next to each other. And it looks like the docks are the same. The docks are literally next to each other, which is absolutely nuts. It's gonna be some early aggression, I imagine. You're gonna have to here, and they both should see each other now. Yeah, Hera will be seeing that. Be seeing the chopped wood for sure. That's for sure. So this is definitely going to be an interesting one. Both players using the sheep to scout as you normally would on Nomad. Be interesting to see how this plays out, because we do often see this in games where both players are right next to each other, just as they are now. And it would be interesting to see how they play this one out. And the house, actually, Jordan's got a house right there. It's probably one of his starting houses, maybe. We didn't actually see how that came about. But both players not having any idle TC house or any idle TC time, which is good. Of course, with the Nomad opening, got to be placing those houses, especially when you have docks producing. Both players, of course, as you normally would go for the shorefish, the faster gathering rate of food. And looking good so far. So just guys, just as a reminder, this show match is hosted by Sizu. So big thanks to Sizu for hosting this show match, and of course big thanks to the players for playing it. And I wonder whether they're going to go for towers, because they're going to have to be aggressive here with both players being right next to each other. The Persians obviously getting the bonus of faster producing PCs and docks. That's not necessarily a bonus you'll feel until later on in a game like this, and obviously with both players being right next to each other, it remains to be seen how long this game actually lasts for. Alright, Hera sending some villagers out to get some ibex. I suspect Jordan might be going to wood and some gold as well. Yeah, these villagers are going to go to gold. He's going to perhaps try and win the waters with this as well. Of course, gold very important for the dock units, for the military. And Jordan's going to be up to feudal age first, which is quite huge actually. He might be able to put some early pressure and damage, especially with towers. A couple of fire galleys, or sorry, fire ships. Basically anything military wise. Any galleys will definitely do some damage here. And often you go for galleys, can be really powerful against these fishing ships, extra strong at getting rid of them. The Malians, of course, having the bonuses of their buildings costing 15% less wood, certainly helpful when Nomad starts. And the barracks units do have extra pierce armor with gold mining free. Hera going to the wood line on the right, and he's getting loom as well, and looks to click up now. Jordan walling off this left side here, trying to grab some sense of control of his base. He's going to tower this wood line to harass the villagers from Hera getting the wood. But actually Hera's going to opt to garrison his TC, try and deny that tower, and that's exactly what happens. He denies the tower, which is awesome. But Jordan going to put another tower, which is going to be just outside the range of the TC this time, I think. I hear some poking and prodding, villagers with knives. Yeah, Hera being a nuisance with this villager that got through. And it's going to deny the walls actually, so that's a lot of wood invested there. Well, not a lot, but a decent amount of wood invested there for Jordan. Doesn't really help his cause at this point. I'm going to try and wall this behind though. Try and keep it messy. Let's see what's happening on water. I suspect, yeah, there we are. We have the fire galleys from Jordan to harass the fish of Hera. And this is actually huge because this is a lot of food eco that Hera now just does not have. And the faster producing docks as well from Jordan And it's very difficult. I don't think Hera can really do much about this. He's going to try and save as much fishing ships as he can, but Jordan can outproduce him on the docks side of things. He's got 2 docks versus the 1 dock from the Malians player. Don't forget the docks produce faster for the Persians as well. And this tower's pushed Hera off that wood line, but there's plenty of wood lines for him to take on the right side of this map. Not too much of a problem. Hera going to stone. Perhaps he's going to get the towers of his own, maybe save up for a castle in Castle Age. And looks like Hera will be up to Castle Age pretty soon. He went for fast castle build and he survived early feudal age pressure. He did lose his fish, which will play a big difference in the end, I reckon. But yeah, we're going to be having some interesting fights here in this Nomad game. If you guys are enjoying this set, this is a live set between Hera and Jordan. At least at the time of casting, of course. A lot of villagers from Hera. 7. Yeah, he's definitely looking for a castle drop here, you can tell. Stable going down for Jordan. Perhaps thinking about some scouts and making his way up to Castle. I mean, he's so far off Castle Age. I think Jordan hasn't been able to do the pressure he perhaps wanted to in feudal age. He has taken Hera off fish. That will be a big thing. But with Hera almost up to Castle Age and being able to drop a castle, this is going to be a problem for Jordan. He's going to need to have some military to deny that castle. It is true that Hera doesn't have any military to defend a castle going up. But rushing down a castle with 10 odd villagers could work really well. Yeah, looks like Jordan is going to go for an extended feudal age with scouts. He's going to need to do some damage and deny the castle going up for Hera, but good thing for Hera is that if he doesn't manage to get that castle up, he can always place it elsewhere. But it looks like he's probably going to go aggressive with the castle, I would have thought. See what he does. Can't preempt it just yet. Selling some stone for some gold. Rebalancing his economy. He's almost up to Castle Age, with Jordan is miles off. Going for some scouts, of course. Trying to see what is going on. And he's going to get a villager pick here, but Hera being up to Castle Age is a bit of a problem for Jordan, I think. Looks like Hera is giving up the waters for now. Not interested in the waters. Yeah, he's going to drop a castle, which is huge. That's going to deny the first starting TC for Jordan, and he's not even in Castle Age, so it's not like he can just build another. And, I mean, there's not much that Jordan can do to stop this. Yeah, this is a really tough spot for Jordan, I think. I think Hera being able to get up to Castle Age and not really suffering too much in feudal age, apart from being taken off the fish. Hera's played this really nicely. That castle will go up and it's going to, you know, make short work of that tower and that TC eventually. And the siege workshop going down, perhaps for some mangonels to really take off that starting TC. And I think Jordan's in a spot of bother here. Doesn't have the food income. Going on stone for perhaps a defensive castle, but I mean, this is going to be up before then. The fletching is helping actually with the tower, which is quite a nice addition. Actually, this is not so simple as we thought. Jordan has got a couple of villages, but this village is just about safe. Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, the village count is a bit disgusting here for Jordan. 20 villagers ahead. I mean, you include the fishing as well, and there's so much fishing ships. I mean, I think this for Jordan is going to be something that is really powerful. If he can survive this very early aggression in this push, if he can survive it, the economy behind this for Jordan is incredible. But definitely all is not lost. Even losing the starting TC, he can rebuild it elsewhere. He's got the stone and the wood for it. And perhaps sending some villagers elsewhere on the map would be a good shout here for Jordan. I think this game will actually be longer than we anticipated. I don't think Jordan is going to be calling this anytime soon. I wouldn't have thought. I think losing this first TC is not necessarily the end of the game here for Jordan. He's got such a huge economy lead here. Just needs to do a bit of a migration. It will hinder him a little bit losing this TC, but when you're up this number of villagers, it's you know, you can definitely bounce back. He does need to get rid of these rams though. Doesn't want these rams taking out his economy. But this early aggression looking good for Hera. But I just don't know whether this will be sustainable with the eco he has behind this, and whether Jordan will actually come back with a massive punch with this economy. As we can see, he's placing another TC, and actually, this is not looking bad for Jordan. Maybe I take back a couple of things I said earlier in the game. Whilst this early pressure and feudal age push is great, sorry, the castle age for Hera anyway, is great. Jordan has huge economy behind this, and he can just soak this up. Just delay this push as much as possible. It's not a problem. And yeah, with nothing else to back this up, the Rams, the scouts can even take these Rams down. I don't think the Rams are going to put any more pressure. Can't really advance much further than this. At least not with the scouts in and about. And we've got 51 villagers to 25. All water control, which is huge for Jordan. There's plenty of fish to be had. Might even consider putting a dock up here on the north. Scouts here are roaming around. Can't take the fight, I think, against the Rams just yet. Just within the range for the castle, but now it can take it. We see the Rams now being supported by the Gebettos. Alright, the blacksmith going down. This is kind of a problem though for Jordan. The Gebettos have got the range. They're a ranged infantry unit. And it's of course the unique unit for the Malians. Okay, they have lots of mobility as well, and a high attack to Gebettos. This is actually looking quite dicey now for Jordan, because the addition of the Gebettos have really helped Hera's push. The Rams have still kept on going. But yeah, the mobility that Jordan once had with the scouts is really nullified by the Gebettos. Look how fast they are. Jeez, man. Look at them move. Great units of the games, and the Rams have got a lot of damage actually. I mean, Jordan is, I have to admit, Jordan is so far from Castle Age, and it's kind of surprising because he's got so much fish, and he's placed a dock here on the right here for the steep fish. But he's so far away from the food count. He just doesn't, I don't know. It's a strange one. He's got 13 fishing ships. Hasn't been able to save up the food to get up to Castle Age. With Hera still on 1 TC, but is placing the second TC, so the economy for Hera is going to start to build up very strongly with the second TC. He is still 30 villages behind, which is actually massive, and he's been 30 villages behind for ages. But it's an interesting one. It's been tricky because Jordan just hasn't had the food count. Despite having all the fish. It's an odd one. I kind of expected him to have a bit more of a buzzing food economy. He does have upgrades though. He does have double bit axe. He does have forging. He does have fletching. He does have bloodlines. He does have horse colours. So, I mean, it's undeniable that the economy is certainly ahead here for Jordan. But he looks like he's going to be making his way up to Castle Age soon. He's got 600 food now, so now it's really starting to spike up with the farms being added. But we'll see, because Hera is on 2 TCs now, so the village count will start to balance. And the good thing about Hera's situation, with that castle, he's got so much control over his resources. You know, he's got the stone, he's got gold safe, nice and safely. And he does have a buzzing food economy himself with the farms. So whilst Jordan has all this fish, which is certainly great with the free food, essentially free food, Hera does have a buzzing economy of his own. 26 villages, he's narrowing down the gap. And Jordan is up to Castle Age now. Of course, we're searching Castle Age with 1 TC means he's going to not be producing villages for a little while. Well, that gives Hera with 2 TCs an even better chance to catch up. And with the monastery being placed, I wonder whether Hera is going to go for some relics. Maybe get some monks out to try and convert some knights, which are probably going to be incoming for Jordan, I suspect. Hera probably has probably noticed that Jordan has the forging and the bloodlines. So he's probably anticipating a cav play. But with Gebettos with the range and mobility, it could be great for Hera with the micro. Jordan has 680 stone. Looks like he's going to go for a castle of his own. Actually, look, he's got archers. He does have fletching. He's going to have a defensive castle going down. Which is definitely a good spot to defend this gold and this food and, well, basically his whole economy, really, this castle. Needs to get it up, though, because the Gebettos and the Mangonel are going to want to do something about that. It does have about 14 villagers to rush this up, so it should go up. Might not go up without losses. We might lose a couple of villagers here and there, but this is dicey, actually. But villagers, I mean, Hera's going to repair the Mangonel as well to get really maximum value out of this Mangonel. But the tower is going to force it back a little bit. And a knight will snipe that Mangonel, which is great play there for Jordan. And he deletes the knight because of the monks behind it. And definitely worth it for Jordan. He needs to get this castle up. It will go up. He did lose a couple of villagers. But overall, I mean, it's good for both players. Hera did kill a couple of villagers, but Jordan getting this castle up is huge. So important to protect this eco. And again, the food income for Jordan is really going to help him out. And Jordan wins it. Hera calls a GG. I think getting up to castle... Well, yeah, he did get up to castle age. Looking at that economy from Jordan, he could really look at it. The food and gold, he can really start to produce army. Hera wasn't that far off economy-wise, but I think he was so far off for so long that the resources just really piled up for Jordan. And I think Hera realizes that with Jordan being full on water, he'd probably lose this game eventually. There's perhaps a little bit more to have played out here, but I think, you know, Hera probably realizes quite far behind in economy. And that castle going up, it's going to be very difficult for Hera to push this back. So, well played. So it's actually 1 apiece now for the best of 5, which is fantastic. Alright guys, I'm going to move back to an overlay so we can be right back in about perhaps 3 minutes. I'm just going to get the next game loaded up and we will just have a bit of a chat before the next game as well. It's 1 apiece from the best of 5 between Hera and Jordan. Guys, see you in just a couple of minutes. Okay, welcome back guys. This is the third game of the set of the best of 5 show match hosted by Sizu between Hera and Jordan. The map is African Clearing. We've got Hera in blue playing as the Mayans and Jordan in red playing as the Indians. Both strong civs, of course Mayans being top tier civs for many different maps. Perhaps not necessarily seen that much on African Clearing. But of course, the bonuses that Mayans get are incredible, with the longer lasting resources, incredibly strong, and of course known for very strong archer units being cheaper. With the Indians, of course, benefiting from cheaper villages and faster shore fishing, which, I mean, the shore fishing is incredibly fast for any civ, but with the Indians, in a map like African Clearing, can be hugely strong. Again, the TCs are actually quite close to each other, just like on the Nomad game on the last game of the set. And, ooh. Hera could have lost a villager there, but he saves it. And this reminds me, actually, guys, I once saw a video from Hera using an archer to lure the boars. And I think that map was an African Clearing as well, so I'd love to see something like that again, especially in a show match. But let's have a look at the fog of war, because let's just see if they've spotted each other. I think Hera sees that. I think Hera sees that. Oh, he doesn't. He doesn't. It's so close. Guys, he was so close to seeing that and he doesn't. So Hera does not see Jordan. Okay. I've always had problems with this, actually, toggling between the players. I think it's tab. Oh, there we are. Perfect. Okay, we got it. We got it. We got it there, guys. I'm pretty new to Capture Age, so bear with me. But we see that Jordan doesn't see Hera either. They're both so close and they're so far from seeing each other. So that's a bit unfortunate. Oh, although I think Jordan might have lost a sheep there. But Jordan might know that Hera is around because he lost a sheep there. So I think Jordan probably knows. And we see Hera getting his second boar. And he's actually opting to take the boar first, rather than the shorefish, which is really interesting. I'm not sure why that's the case. I'm sure he has a very good reason for it. I mean, he's going for both anyway. He's taking shorefish and just taking both probably. And we see Jordan going for more shorefish. So I suspect Jordan's food income will be quicker here because he does have... I mean, I think the boar income of food is not to be snuffed at. It's incredibly fast as well. But Jordan is taking a lot of the shorefish. OG Virtuoso, welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing alright. This is the best of 5 games from Hera and Jordan, hosted by Sizu. The first game was an interesting one, Aztec's Mirror on Arabia, with Hera picking up the win there with a 1 TC play, selling his stone, and going very, very aggressive. The second game was Nomad, where both players were very close to each other, with Hera being the Malians and Jordan being Persians, but Jordan really delaying his castle age time and getting a huge economy behind it and taking the waters. Both players getting castles in that game, and Jordan taking the win, even things up. The games will be on YouTube as well later on, I suspect, so if you've missed anything, perhaps check it out on the YouTube. They were very good games. And Jordan is going to go for another mill on the right here, really doing some nice ponds for the shorefish. Hera doing the same here on the left. And I think that's like Hera's third boar, so looking good for both players actually. Both players doing really well with the food income. Let's just have a look if they know where each other are now. They probably do by now. So, I'm going to say that. I'm not sure Hera knows where Jordan is. Don't think he sees him. Which is kind of weird. He's been doing well with the scouting, he just hasn't been able to see it. Jordan, on the other hand, doesn't see him clearly, doesn't see Hera clearly, but I think if Jordan notices, he did lose a sheep here, I think, so he might know that. It remains to be seen. Well, they're definitely going to cross paths now, just a matter of time. And we're going to be seeing Hera going to golds. We see Jordan this time going to feudal age faster, and he's going to get some stone. I think we're going to see maybe looking to get a castle drop, but Hera will see this. Oh look, we're going to put an outpost literally in range of the TC. He thinks better about it, he sees what's going on. And a bit unfortunate here because I think Jordan's plans are kind of revealed here. Hera will notice that he's got villages in stone, not that many, but he still sees it. And a bit of a real fight here going on. I think Hera will save that villager. Yep, definitely an aggressive outpost. I think he knows now exactly what Hera is. Hera doing actually a good job of walling in his starting TC. Offers him a bit of protection. But he won't want to pigeon himself in that hole. But that's plenty of space here actually. But nice. This is a nice spot actually. Really nice. Getting shorefish, gold and stone secured there. And the Indians player, Jordan, is up to feudal age. Going to get a tower on this gold. Hera's going to have to move those villages and migrate this gold here. It's not the end of the world for him. And Jordan is getting a lot of the shorefish here on the right. The one good thing about Jordan is he does seem to have spread out a little bit more than Hera. And with archers following this behind. I mean, Jordan might think about going archers into cav archers, perhaps, with the Indians. 21 villagers to 22. Hera almost up to feud Lage himself. Alright, Hera up to feud Lage, and that tower denying that gold, and Hera will just move over, I'm sure. He's going to drop a market. I just wonder whether Hera might go for a fast castle and try and do some damage to the military. I suspect that's why he's getting the market. He might want to just rebalance his economy. I mean, he's got plenty of food. I mean, the food count for Hera is crazy here. I perhaps didn't expect that. Perhaps expected Jordan to be a bit better with the food count. And like in the last game as well, I felt like Jordan had a lot of food economy, but just wasn't able to. I don't know why didn't have it in the bank. Bit of an odd one. I'm not sure why Hera always seems to have more food. Maybe, I think because of the Mayans bonus of the resources lasting longer. Jordan going to place a forward tower, with Hera putting a defensive one, and Hera's is going to go up first. I think this is going to be denied for Jordan. He's going to have to go back and run away from this. And Hera trying to trap the vills with a gate, but doesn't quite manage it. And again, he's trying to save, trying to trap those vills, doesn't manage it. And Jordan is forced to retreat, and archers are coming forward for Jordan now. Hera going for a blacksmith and market. I think he's going to go up to Castle Age. Yeah, looks like Hera is probably going to click up very soon. He's got the res for it, and he's just got the building, and he's clicked up. Tower going for the Indians player. He's going to try and trap Hera, but Hera's tower is going to go up faster. And so I think this is going to be another denied tower for Jordan. Really unfortunate for him, but I mean, I think a big thing here though is that Hera, although he will be up to Castle Age, which I think is huge in this situation because he needs to fight, but he needs to push this back because he needs access to gold, and he doesn't have gold access here, which is actually a huge problem for Hera. He might have to abuse the market here to get a couple of units out to push this back, maybe a couple of Eagle Warriors. But he needs to secure a gold, and he doesn't have one just yet. And with these towers, although he lost a couple of villagers, actually I'm not sure if he lost a villager, but he lost a couple of towers to losing resources with that. He has managed to get a couple up, Jordan, so he's got a bit of map control here. And it looks like Hera is a bit pigeonholed. He can sell the stone, he might need to. He might need to force down a castle, actually. He might need to reclaim this gold back. And if he can do that, that will certainly be strong. But Jordan now, looking strong with the food count, is not up to Castle Age though, that's probably why. He needs to get himself up to Castle Age soon, I think. It's almost a reversal of the last game, in some ways, with last game Jordan getting up to Castle Age really late. Looks like, actually it's a similar sort of, not a reversal. It's pretty much what happened last game. A second TC going down for Hera on the wood line. Struggling for gold though. He might need to abuse that market, and I think... Oh, this is so interesting, because Jordan's actually using the market here. He's selling wood for gold. And I wonder, I mean, I suppose he's doing that because he needs the gold, but it does make the prices for Hera just that bit worse for the market. So if Hera was thinking of abusing the market prices just got a little bit worse for him. Jordan trying to get that power up, but can't quite manage it. Deletes it and goes back. This is looking very dicey for Hera, actually. Has he got anything else elsewhere? It doesn't look like he's got any villages out, so... very good map control for Jordan. Jordan is getting up to Castle Age, so that will be huge. I'm not sure what you do if you're in Hera's position. He needs to secure a gold big time. Literally got 0 villages on gold. And Jordan's just going to crack on and build towers. Jordan getting gold mining upgrade is housed a little bit. Both on equal number of villages. And another tower going up for Jordan here on the right, which is definitely going up. That's going to deny some farms from Hera. And yeah, that's going to be annoying for her actually, because the economy, little economy that he has pigeonholed in this corner is being denied by these towers. I wonder whether if Jordan can even get a castle up, it would be incredible. Has 6 villagers on stone. There we are. We see Hera gonna look to sell stone for gold. He has a monastery. Go for some monks. An interesting one. Certainly not something I would have thought of. I'd be interested to see how he plays that one out. And a forward siege workshop going for Jordan. This is a strong play. Defensive siege workshop being placed for Hera. But I think, yeah, I think Jordan is going to be able to put a lot of pressure. And I'm not sure Hera knows about that. Let's just check the fog of war. He sees the gold. Not looking to take it though. Jordan doesn't actually have control of that gold, and that is gold that Hera would love to have. And we'll see some mangonel micros here. Looks like they're both pretty evenly gonna pop out, so this is definitely something to watch. Jordan's actually going to have his mangonel out earlier, which is not always a good thing, because the mangonel comes out and Hera knows exactly what to target, whereas Hera's mangonel comes out and Jordan needs to be paying attention here, because if he's not paying attention here, Jordan's going to lose the mangonel. Hera's going to wait for it and just pop out with his mangonel and going to try and snipe this. And oh, Jordan pulls away. Oh, he manages to save that mangonel. Villagers on hand to repair it. Not actually repairing it just yet though. Oh yes, here we are. So Hera's got a castle on that gold. I spoke too early. He does know about the gold and he's looking to get that castle up. A couple of archers. That, you know, Hera will lose a couple of villagers for this castle, but he will get it up. He'll force it up with the villagers. He has to. He has to get this gold. This is a way back in for Hera, for sure. And I think Jordan really missed out on opportunity here. You know, a couple of towers on this gold and it would have been game over. Hera would not have had any gold income. But this castle is absolutely massive for Hera. Absolutely massive. Safe gold income now. This is his lifeline back into the game. In fact, Hera actually has more villagers than Jordan, so has a bigger economy. This is huge. I think this might be the game changer here. Having access to gold. Which is kind of crazy. Yep, looks like Indians. Jordan's going for the cav archers. And Hera will be going for the plumed archers, which will have a lot of mobility. And it's going to get rid of these pesky villagers that have been harassing him for the whole of the feudal age. And this is looking good now for Hera with the 2 TCs. And Jordan's going to go for a 3rd TC on the right here on the wood line. So 3 TC boom for Jordan. I wonder, it's going to be tricky because it's very even game now. With that castle going up, very even. And Hera's pushing everything back. Got a lot of control now. He's done exactly what he needed to do to get control of this area here. We said at the beginning of the game this could be crucial with the gold stone and the wood line here in this corner. Third TC going up for Jordan, almost there. Both civilizations very strong in terms of economy bonuses. Okay, and a 3rd TC going down for Hera. Alright, looking good for both players, pretty even. And it looks like both players are going to boom it out a little bit. Not much else to add, I think. Cav archers, I think Jordan's going to mess up a lot of cav archers, it seems. And the good thing for the Mayans player, of course, they get crazy skirmishes. Especially with the unique tech upgrades. Long term, this could be good for Hera. Of course, the cav archers have great mobility. Okay, cav archers are going to get engaged here with the mangonel, and it looks like Jordan's going to just try and snipe the mangonel. Some nice splits there, micro. And they're kind of fighting it out here on the north as well with the mangonels, but with both players being very neck and neck of the village account. And Hera and Jordan both being on 3 TCs. The village account very even, 68 to 66. And the military account very even as well. So this went from Jordan being very aggressive and having huge amounts of control to Hera now reclaiming back this corner. And look at the buzzing economy now because of it. Jordan's really expanding here on the right. Getting access to the shorefish long term, this is great for him for the food income. Looks like actually Jordan's going to put some pressure on this TC and might lose the mangonel though. Oh no, actually Hera shot the, it might have been a misclick. Hera shot the Siege Workshop instead of the mangonel. Looks like they just kind of want to trade off there a little bit. Yeah, this is really even. This has become so even with both players on 74, 75 villagers and 15 military each roughly. It's really changed this game from where Hera was looking in a bad position being pigeonholed. That castle was really sorted everything out. I think that's huge, that castle that Hera managed to put down. Is the second castle going down for Hera? Jordan's going to try and deny it with the tower, but I don't think he can because there are mangonels there as well. I think the castle will go up. It won't be without casualties, but I mean Hera will just pull more villagers for them. But this castle's going to go up and it's going to deny a couple of farms and just put a bit more control now for Hera on the second gold, and the gold is so crucial on this map for Hera. He's going to secure a second gold with the castle. Oh, the cav archer is going to get good value though. He's going to lose a couple of villagers here, Hera. Down to 78 villagers. But the castle will go up, of course. With the plumes getting involved. Hera also got a conversion out of that. And Hera now 8 villages behind, but now he's got access to that second gold, so he can really push ahead. There's a lot of gold here to be claimed, actually. I think Jordan can get a bit more of a map control. I think he may be able to still pigeonhole in this corner. But Hera really fighting back in this one. He is 11 villagers down now though. Oh, that gold. There's a lot of villagers on that. But plenty of space to expand though, Jordan. Getting another TC here on the right of the map. Okay, we've seen Imp being clipped for Hera. He's going to go for Imperial Age, and that's going to give him huge tech advantages in this game. We see Jordan actually sticking it out a little bit in Castle Age. It looks like he's going to go for light calves, maybe for some raids. But with Hera now being in Imperial Age, taking advantage of the Mayans' bonuses, they just always seem to have an abundance of resources. Getting bow swords, getting the gold mining upgrade, got access to 2 safe golds picked by castles. This is going to take a long time for Jordan to be able to push. I think Jordan needs to get up to Imperial Age. Obviously, easy to say that when you're watching the whole game, but I don't think, yeah, it's going to be very difficult for Jordan to push any of this back. The castle placements are absolutely amazing. Protecting both goals and protecting a huge amount of economy for Hera. There's a little bit of exposed economy here for Hera on the bottom, but in the grand scheme of things, in terms of the way this game's panned out, this is really great position for Hera. Being up to Imp, getting Bodkin. He is a bit behind with the villager count, but I think if Hera can do some damage whilst he's in Imperial Age, that villager count will even out pretty quick. Certainly not over for Jordan, that's for sure. Jordan definitely in this. He's up to Imperial Age himself. He's going to be about 2.5 minutes behind, maybe, roughly, which is not a long way. Ballistics coming in for Hera. And this is going to look to be a good one, I think. And the third castle going down for Hera in the place of Jordan's TC. Talk about dominance, or showing your position. So it's going to drop a third castle there. I think more to do just to put a statement across more than anything. It doesn't protect any more resources that he doesn't already have access to. But it's a nice spot, again, protecting that area. Hera up to Imperial Age. He's getting braces, getting town watches, queuing up a Treb. So Hera's going to be able to push quite well here, with Jordan being a bit behind on Imperial Age. And doesn't have a castle of his own, so he's not going to be able to get any Trebs out. So with Jordan not having... Oh, he's going to get a castle now. So actually, to be fair, by the time Jordan hits Imperial Age, you have a castle to be able to get some Trebs out. But yeah, this is going to be a long, drawn-out one, I think. I don't think this is going to be finishing anytime soon. Both players still in it. Jordan has a huge economy, though. Has to be said. Jordan does have a huge economy. I don't know why. In this set, it's always felt like Hera's had more resources. I don't see... Maybe Jordan's been really good about spending his resources, perhaps. I don't know if that's what it is, but it just always seems like Hera has resources in the bank that he can use at the right time. And actually Jordan's going to lose a lot here with this economy. And Hera looking to... Actually, he's going to dive that... He dived that TC with the plumes. There was only about 4 or 5 villagers in there, and he's going to lose that TC. Jordan, he does have 3 others, or 2 others actually now. He's going to send the cav and the cav archers in. Try and get rid of these plumed archers, but they're in a nice mass here, so he's going to get decent value. I think overall, the Mayans player is actually going to push this back. Although the light cav are getting great value. Castle fire getting involved. And the Treb now going to do some work to get some of the production buildings down for Jordan. And Hera has done incredibly well to get back into this game. The villager count's pretty even now. With that push there in early Imperial Age for Hera, it's really evened out the villager count as we've said it would. Jordan has a trebuchet of his own, and light cav as well. Oh, it was a third TC. Was that third or was that fourth? I lose track now. I think that's the fourth TC. It's the fourth TC for Hera, yes, of course. And he's going to secure another gold. This game it's been about the gold, I think. He's getting the elite plumed archer upgrade. I can't help but think this game is starting to look towards heading towards Hera, which is huge. Alright, looks like Hera is also going for a pikeman, so it looks like he's going for plumed archers and pikemen as an army composition, which is not a bad idea because Jordan is going for hussar and cav archers. Bit of a Treb war going on here. 2 Trebs, I think, for Jordan. Only 1 Treb for Hera, which is a bit surprising. He did get up to Castle Age quicker, and of course he's got 3 castles to produce Trebs out of. But Hera might lose this castle. It looks like he will, and actually now with this army composition, I think Jordan is actually looking really strong with the hussar. So you'll be able to get really good raiding value, and of course it's one of Hera's favourite units. Jordan loves the Hussar unit. But this economy for Jordan is not to be snuffed at. There's a lot of economy here. 120 villages. I just wonder, I think the economy now is looking stronger for Jordan. Hera pushed a little bit in early Imperial Age, but Jordan is now pushing back in mid to late Imperial Age. Or probably mid Imperial Age. Not really hitting the late Imp stage just yet. Inscription coming in for Hera. And the good thing for Jordan is that he's trading food units for gold units here. So the value of this fight is great for Jordan, even though Hera is in a little corner here, is getting as much value from the plumes as he can. He will lose a lot of the plumed archer numbers. Now Hera's going to be desperate to repair this castle, but that castle will go down with 3 trebs and with only 3 villagers repairing. This is going to be a strong push. 60 farms, 65 farmers for Jordan, insane numbers. It's going to go for loss of Hussar, I think. But the Halberdier for Hera will definitely have something to say about that. And it's a bit standoffish now. Let's zoom out a little bit. I want to see how many stables Jordan has. He has about 5 so far that we can see on the screen. This is going to be a big focus for the fight, I think. We see actually a castle here going down for Hera. I mean, this game has been about Hera dropping castles on gold, it looks like, really. I think that's been the theme about this game, and it's really secured his position. Gold is so vital in long games like this. And it looks like Jordan's going to see this. Not going to be able to deny it. But he sees it with the Hussar. Looking strong here, and looks like the armies are moving now towards the right of the map, really. I just wonder, the numbers that Hera has here military wise is so strong. With the halberdiers in front of them, the army composition for Hera is incredible here. It's very difficult for Jordan to take any effective fights because of the halberdiers right in front. And the plumes backing them up puts Hera in a really strong position. And Hera's actually going to push forward here with this TC. And he's got a trap behind it, and it's very difficult here for Jordan to push this back. He might need to kind of build up a really strong army and have one big push, but I think Hera's looking very good at this point. Oh, I think the Halbs are a little bit caught out of position though, but they get there in time. No problem. And yeah, this is a problem for Jordan. I don't think he doesn't really have an answer for this because of the Halbs and the plumes and the trebs to build up behind this is looking strong for Hera. There's no raiding going on, so the 60 farms for Jordan not helping him out too much. I think the castles for Hera has really bought him a lot of time. Oh, he's going for the Eagle Warriors, elite Eagle Warriors, and I think Hera wants to see this game out now. He's got a buzzing economy behind this. He's going to push really hard with the Halbs, the Plumes, and the Trebs, and with the Eagles behind, he's going to be able to raid really well. We know Hera loves to raid, and he's going to make the best of it. He doesn't have access to Hussar, of course, being the Mayans, but it's going to make do with the elite Eagle Warriors. Nothing to snuff about. They're a perfectly great raiding unit themselves. And I think Jordan's being pushed back massively here. Well, I think the game is just a little bit stuttery for some reason. Yeah, I think Capture Age is just catching up a little bit. 1 second. Yeah, it is a little bit stuttery. Okay, it looks like it's catching up a little bit now. Yeah, it's looking better now. Yeah, this is the big fight of the game, I think. The Hussar in front, the Halberdier in front. And looks like Jordan is going to try and flank with the Hussar, but the plumes are just shredding them. And with the Halbs mixed in, this Jordan just can't engage. It's such a hard counter to the Hussars. Instead, he's going to send the Hussars forward, try and get some raiding value. Hera's going to chase with the Hals, but of course they're a lot slower. Jordan has another TC on the right. Hera abusing the market a little bit, selling food for gold. We're going to start seeing the elite Eagle Warriors coming in as well. They're going to start flooding. Look at them running in. And Jordan really being pushed back. Let's see what that raid is doing. It's going to go towards the back of Hera's base. But don't forget, the early castles he placed are going to protect his eco somewhat. And he's got TCs dotted around. The Halbs are going to catch up as well. And the plumes and the Halbs are going to push this back massively. Going to try and snipe some of the Trebs. Doesn't really need to, actually. The Trebs can't do much at this point. Going to really focus on the army, it looks like, as well. And I think, despite Jordan's huge economy, Hera's military composition has just been a bit better in this game. And has been able to push things back for him. I think this is going to be the end of the game. Jordan is probably going to have to call this soon. I mean, he's at 186 population, so definitely wouldn't begrudge him riding this out a bit longer. Perhaps getting a one last big push. That raid is doing a little bit of damage, not too much. Because of the castle, yeah, this is decent-ish. It's going to do a little bit of damage, but not as much damage as Jordan would have wanted, for sure. Jordan has saved up his military, not taking any fights in the last minute or two. Tried to build them up and is going to try and take the best fight he can. This is actually a decent fight for Jordan. The Halberdier is kind of caught out a little bit. The plume's not supporting them. And Jordan managed to take out quite a few of the Halbs. But the plumes now, they're not slow, they're not slouches, so they get in position now and are going to do some effective damage. The points, Hera about 2k points ahead. But the Halbs are not in huge numbers here, so the Hussars are going to get more damage out of this, and Hera might have to pull back here a little bit. The plumes are kind of a bit unprotected. But we can see on the minimap, look at the minimap, the flooding of units. I think Hera has to pull back a little bit. Just consolidate, get some Halbs back in. Get some elite Eagle Warriors. Save these plumes. He doesn't want to lose this mass of plumes. If he loses this mass of plumes, it could be big trouble for him. What I would say is Hera's got 31 villagers on gold. It looks like Jordan's going to want to try and whittle down the numbers of the plumes, but when they enter a mass like this, it's so hard to stop, especially with the Halbs behind. Yeah, and the plumes actually win that. And the push continues for Hera. Yeah, both players have actually got a lot of villagers on gold, so they're not running out of gold for a while. And I think Hera's done incredible. Just from the beginning of the game, where he's pigeonholing that small gap, that castle really bought him a lot of retail estate to expand his economy, and that gold protecting it was huge, and now is really pushing forward with his elite eagle warriors, halberdiers, and plumed archers. Fully upgraded. Jordan certainly not giving up though. He has the heavy cav archers backed up by the hussar. And there is the GG. We see it there, guys. Hera taking the third game of the set of the best of 5, hosted by Sizu. And I think this was a fascinating game. I really think that castle had a lot to do with this win for Hera. Capturing that gold, securing that gold was massive. He literally had 0 villagers on gold up until that point. And that castle really secured a bit of map control, secured that gold, and he was really able to push on from there. The economy from the mines with the extra long lasting resources really came into play in the late game in a really strong push with the plumed archers and the halberdiers, with Jordan having no answer to it, even with the heavy cav archers and the hussar. A couple of raids attempted by Jordan, but not enough to do much damage. And yeah, in the end, Hera getting the third game of the set. Hera really making advantage of the earlier Imperial Age time, managed to push back Jordan a little bit. Jordan lost about 20 villagers and economy on the north side of his base because of that early Imperial Age. Jordan then managed to stem the flow a little bit when he hit Imperial Age with 3 trebs of his own, knocking down a castle of Hera. But then Hera really pushing forward with the elite eagles. And all round, great game. So guys, hope you're enjoying this set as much as I am. We're going to go for a very short break, and I'll be back to answer some questions, catch up with chat, and also, of course, get the 4th game of the set underway. See you guys in just a couple of minutes. So welcome back, guys, to the 4th game of the set for the best of 5 between Jordan and Hera, hosted by Sizu. The map is Gold Rush. We've got Jordan on the left of the map playing in red as the Slavs. We've got Hera in blue playing as the Teutons in blue in the southeast corner of the map. Both civs incredibly strong. Teutons, of course, having cheaper farms, which is fantastic, and their stable units having extra pierce armor as they advance through the ages. The Slavs having incredibly good farms, of course known as being a strong infantry civ, and of course have cheaper siege workshop units. The map is Gold Rush. Haven't seen this map being played for a while actually, and this is actually quite a nice base, all things considered, for Jordan with this wood line. It actually is closed off there, although it is rangeable with archers in that little crevice. So could wall up pretty well. It's pretty exposed on the front. He's got a nice kind of 3-tile back gold there that he can kind of take before he perhaps ventures out into the middle. Hera, though, perhaps not so lucky with his map gen, with the berries being further forward. Does have a decent golds at the back though. Certainly won't hurt him. See how this plays out. Wonder whether both players will go for scout rushes. And Jordan taking the opportunity to push a deer as well, which will bolster his food economy just that little bit. And I wonder whether Hera's going to do the same. Hera looks like he's going to start walling up. He does have a decent base for that, so don't blame him. Might wall up to the TC, and it's quite nice he's got his back golds that he can safely take. And there we are. Hera is going to be pushing in a zebra. I don't know about you guys, but I always find zebras are easier to push. They're a little less buggy, and they tend not to go back as often. Just something I've noticed. I don't know how you guys feel about that. If you've noticed that as well, zebras being a bit easier to push. Hey Magnolia, hey Joey, how are you both? Hope you guys are doing well. This is game 4 of the best of 5 between Jordan and Hera. Second deer, or second zebra coming in, shall we say. For Hera. Jordan's actually getting 10 gold here, so he might be looking for a Drush FC. Looks quite possible. With the pre-mill barracks. So yeah, pre-mill Drush. Yeah, Yeah, looks like that's what's happening here for Jordan. Hera getting his elephant down there, nice underneath the TC, and getting a third zebra as well. I don't think Hera's gone forward yet with any scouting. He's gone for 3 zebras. He won't have any eyes on this actually. He hasn't got any clue about where Jordan is, so he won't see this coming. But he might see it coming if he sends his scout forward now. But Hera could be in for a rude awakening with this pre-mill rush. They pre-mill, but we are at 24 pop here. Hera looks like he's going to wall up and be quite greedy here. It's not dropped a barracks just yet. Hera doesn't have any military production buildings, and they just missed each other. I don't think Hera saw any of that. And Jordan looks like he's going to start walling up as well. Working on it, he's working on it, and I wonder whether Hera will get these walls up before the Drush comes in. I don't think he will. Could quite possibly, if he's lucky about it, actually. I wonder whether Jordan will stop these walls and get through. Remains to be seen. Can he sneak in the scout? Okay, he's just going to get through. Oh, can Hera get the gate down? Oh, he can't, and he deletes the gate. I don't think he saw the militia. But the militia actually managed to get in, and all that walling was for nothing because Hera's gone... oh, I say that. Oh, what awesome quick walls there from Hera. He actually kept it out with the 2 gates and the houses. Although, the gate just gets destroyed by Jordan, so Hera can't keep him out. He saves the villager, quick walls the villager. Jordan is in, and now this kind of is a bit of an issue. I mean, it's not a huge issue for a player like Hera, but it's just annoying to have 3 militia and a scout in your base. But that almost worked out well for Hera. Just couldn't quite pull it off in the last second there. That gate just didn't have enough HP on it, and Jordan managed to take it down. But I mean, Hera's going to be able to small wall his res. This is Hera we're talking about. The Drush doesn't have too much to hit. Might perhaps go for the berries. Hera is going to go up to feudalage now. Jordan not quite clicked up to that. Jordan getting his loom. Jordan losing a bit of HP on that scout. But Hera's actually pretty well protected and safe here from this Drush. I don't think we see this all that often. Hera is perhaps going for just a straight FC. Pushing 3 deer. I don't think I've seen this kind of play from the pros for a long time. Straight FC. This is a great engagement for Hera. Taking HP on that scout with two hits. Jordan's going to want to get the military in, but Hera, of course, has great micro there. And is keeping his scout safe. Again, Hera keeping the militia out. Oh, the militia might get in if Hera doesn't start repairing this. Oh, probably not, actually. Yeah. Hera managed to repair that well. And the Drush hasn't got too much value. Of course, a little bit of idle time, but nothing to write home about. Hera gets up to feudal age, and he's got... Oh, look at the resource count from Hera, man. He's going to click up instantly after he gets the buildings down. Insane. He's going to get the market. He doesn't have a barracks, guys. Kind of funny. Gonna hit the blacksmith. And yeah, unfortunately Jordan didn't get the value that he wanted from this Drush. And Hera will be clicking up to Castle Age in a minute now. I mean, Jordan won't be too far behind. He's getting an archery range down, and he'll need to get the second production building, and he's not too far off on the food count. He's not walled up himself, but he's not facing the aggression anyway, so it's not a big deal. Oh, Hera's going to trap in the Drush. I suppose Jordan Pro doesn't really care about that too much at this stage. But the Drush is now walled in. Unfortunate for Jordan. Nicely done by Hera. With the palisade gates. Create a little bit of a prison for Jordan now. The gates are locked, my friend. The gates are locked. There's no escaping. You've got to do your time. Double archery range going down for Jordan as the Slavs player. Jordan is nicely walled up now. Hera will get up to castle age first. Jordan not too far behind, just 1 minute behind. He's getting his double bit axe and horse collar. Hera will want to keep an eye on that and repair that gate. Both players opting just for the one lumber camp and going for relatively greedy strategies, with Hera not having any military just yet. Getting a monk, he's going to convert the militia. Going to get Bowsaw and perhaps thinking about getting relics. Oh, he's going for double monastery. Jordan's going to be up to castle age relatively soon. He's sending a forward villager. Is that going to be a sneaky villager? Where's this villager off to? Where's this guy off to? Go for a stroll in the desert of the gold rush. Jordan's sending a spearman forward. Oh my god, there's so many lions, man. Hilarious. This villager... Hera's going to save the villager. Save it. Save it. The lions are approaching. Save the villager, run home. That's a lot of lions. I think there's a zoo somewhere missing a lot of lions. Unfortunately, this is probably the most exciting bit of the game just at the moment. That's a lot of lions, I have to say. I don't think I've seen that many lions on a chase before. This lady was just farming. She was just minding her own business, getting food for the village. And the lions start to pounce. But they fight well back with knives. Nicely done. Nicely done. Let's see what happened to the militia. The militia getting converted is actually hilarious. And Hera comes out with that with one extra militia. Forward siege workshop going down for Jordan. Trying to get some map control in that golden pit. It's not golden pit, it's the gold rush, but the pit of gold, just not on gold pit. The map is gold rush. And the monastery there forward as well for Hera. Okay, Sanctity coming in for Hera with his monks. Okay. Cav archers for the Slavs player. Oh, Hera might get conversion here. He does get one conversion. Does he get a second? He doesn't quite get the second. But he already gets one. And the ram comes forward for Jordan. Get rid of this monastery here. The monk trying to get another conversion will get sniped, but let's just see if we can get a conversion beforehand. He does. The monk does get two conversions, Cav archers, and Hera brings this converted unit back home to his base. Mangonel coming forward for Jordan. Very aggressive here for Jordan since the beginning of the game. Hera still looking to kind of stay within his walls. Has a defensive siege workshop of his own. Has two scorpions, two Cav archers that he converted himself, and the Mangonel for Jordan up front. Jordan actually looks in a good position here. He's got more villagers and he's got more military. Be interesting to see how this one plans out, but the scorpions will get some good hits on the Cav archers. And Jordan will get... Oh, nicely done by Hera to micro that. Again, the Mangonel doesn't get a strong hit on the scorpions, and again, great micro there for Hera, although he does take a big hit. Yep, that more military does include militia, of course. And the Cav archers that were converted have been slain for their heresy. The Cav Archers are starting to build up now for Jordan, actually. He's getting a ram and a mangonel and more lions on the prowl. This has been a story of the lions. The villager is going to go forward and repair the mangonel. Jordan's getting a second TC, is getting it on the wood line. Not in the middle. I suppose he has plenty of gold back home still to mine. But a bit surprising he didn't get a bit of control of the middle there, now that he has some map control. He does have this gold he can take anyway, so no problems. Kind of surrounding the base, and Hera being kind of trapped in, just like in the last game. Hera getting pigeonholed a little bit here, but I wonder whether he can free himself out from this one. Getting double stables. Some good hits on the ram from the two mangonels. The ram is on the hill, so survived that volley of rocks from the mangonels. Jordan sending a spear in, but the two monks there looking to do some conversions. Oh, a Cav Archer, kind of a couple of three of them there, just denying that wood line, and Hera's going to really struggle here. He doesn't actually have any villagers on wood here. Definitely a problem, and whatever wood he does have is building houses with them. Yeah, a couple of knights is getting bloodlines. I think this is a strong position for Jordan. He needs to keep his mangonels and rams protected though. And the knights will help. A scorpion there to get rid of some of the Cav Archers. That's a good play. He needs to keep this woodline safe. Is that a hole there? It's actually open, guys. After all that, I think that's open. Suspect that ram will go down. Oh, just saved by the skin of the teeth. 9 HP on that ram. Oh, maybe not. I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon. A decent number of knights here, actually. So Hera now, having turtled in, would be able to clear this up if he gets some mobility and get a good fight against Cav Archers. Of course, Cav Archers do have good mobility and range. It will be a tricky one nonetheless. And, oh, okay. Jordan, I think, deletes that spearman. And the knights are out. And I think with the monks here for Hera actually really looking strong now. He's pushed back, he waited for his opportune moment to get his military out. Husbandry coming in for Jordan is going to need that extra mobility. I'm not quite sure whether Hera got husbandry. Actually, wait, Teutons don't get husbandry, so certainly Hera will struggle with the husbandry coming in for Jordan because of the mobility. The knights are relatively slow for the Teutons. And so Cav Archer is a good unit here. And Bloodlines coming in for Jordan as well. He's got husbandry, so should be able to micro this down. But the addition of the monks here for Hera is super important to try and keep some of these Cav Archers at bay. A couple of Cav Archers die there for Jordan. Or, no, that was a villager. 3 monks for Hera. Now with these knights, actually, Jordan's going to lose some of this map control. He's going to lose the siege workshop for sure. And Hera will now be able to move out and get that safe wood. Think about perhaps getting a second TC. What I would say is Jordan has really expanded his economy with 3 TCs, got 69 villages. Hera has 55. Jordan again looks strong on the macro side of things and looks strong on the economy side of things, but with Hera with these knights with extra pierce armor, might be able to get some good damage. Now, looks like Jordan's going to go forward with the Cav Archers. Does leave himself a little bit exposed back home. There are some holes in his base. A raid here for Hera could be devastating for Jordan. Let's see. I think Hera might track back. Perhaps. Or will he go forward? Let's just see how this one pans out. A couple of mangonels defensively for Hera and the monks there. Yeah, definitely some deja vu in this game from the last ones. With Hera kind of not turtling in, but being very defensive and eco approach at the beginning, and then having a mid castle push. With Jordan going for early aggression but not being able to make it count, getting a good castle position. I think Jordan is making amends for the last game, getting some stability with the castle, which he didn't manage to do in the last game. too much. Hera has been holding well and now is really pushing back with his knight number. I wonder what the Cav Archers are doing. They're trying to micro them, but the couple of knights are kind of diving in a little bit, getting decent value. Hera microing it well now though. Going to be able to snipe these knights. Of course with Cav Archers, oh, Hera's going to dive here. He has the +2 and the +2 both defense and attack. And he's going to cause some real damage. The village advantage that Jordan had is going to be massively reduced. And not only that, the idle time this is causing is crazy. So Jordan did leave himself open. I mean, this is massive. This is a game changer. And yeah, this is a problem for Jordan. He did leave himself open. We did notice that earlier on. The castle was in a decent position to protect the gold, but there's just so much here economy-wise that has been left open. And villager count now 72 to 61, still in favour of Jordan. But look at that idle TC time. Jordan up at 5 minutes. And yeah, he's looking bad for Jordan. The early aggression not paying off. 3 TC boon has worked somewhat. He's still ahead in the villages, so not the end of the world. Hera did lose a lot of knights there for that raid. So it was kind of really important for Hera to do some damage, which he did. But the boom from Jordan was so strong, he still actually has the villager lead. The problem for Jordan here is that Hera now really kind of has map control. And it looks like Hera is going to start mining the gold in the middle. It's going to go for another 2 stable, so 4 stable production. And is going to be pushing back the Cav Archers. The Cav Archers kind of disappeared there. I'm not sure. I think just Knights kind of managed to get into the mass of Cav Archers, and with everything that was going on back home, I think perhaps Jordan wasn't able to micro them as much as he perhaps would have wanted to. With 5 mangonels for Hera, who's going to be able to push this eco back, which is not protected by that castle. Jordan's going to struggle. He's got gold there, but it's not the most efficient with the palisades being in the way. He could probably delete those, to be honest. He's open anyway. And looks like Jordan's going to lose this TC. He's going to get another defensive castle, really cramped here for Jordan. He does have pikemen. Of course, is the hard counter to the knights. But with this number of mangonels, it's going to be hard to push back. This castle, not much else he can. It's looking bad for Jordan actually in terms of map control. It does still have more villagers, but they're just being idled so much. Hera relatively untouched now, back at home, and is gaining some control and momentum. The middle, Jordan just seeing what's what with some Cav Archers here. Going to try and get some value with some micro. Castle does offer some protection here, so Jordan can breathe a bit easier now. Jordan's going to actually send some villagers out to the stone there on the front of his base. And we see Cav Archers circling around. But military numbers 33 for Hera, 21 for Jordan. But yeah, Hera does have a weaker economy, but having said that, the idle time caused by those raids were massive. Hera looks like he's going to go for a castle of his own, perhaps going for a castle in the middle. I mean, a castle here would be devastating for Jordan. If Hera could get a castle here, deny the stone, deny the gold that he actually has access to. The Monk's Edition for Hera has been really important here. Should be able to convert a couple of pikemen. Or not. Surprising there that Hera doesn't get a single conversion. Gets 1. And Jordan getting another castle. Protect that wood line on the right side of his base. But it looks like Hera's going to dive this and looks to try and deny, and he will deny. I think this is going to be the GG. This is such a big moment in the game, and denying that castle was massive. Oof, and Hera's got plenty of resources. He's clicked up imp, and this game's over, more or less. The military really playing the part of this game. Although Jordan still actually has more villagers, it just doesn't have the military for this game. And that castle is going to be a doubt castle. And Hera, here we are. See, he's getting that castle right on that hill placement. Perfect spot. I'm not sure it actually ranges that gold, but I think at this point it probably doesn't matter too much. He stops that stone, and Jordan is looking in trouble. The problem for Jordan here is that although he's had a lot of villagers and economy, he's just not been able to take a good fight. He's been taking very inefficient fights because of the situation he's in. And he's going to drop 2 further archery rangers. But unfortunately, he actually is off gold completely, has 0 villagers on gold. And there doesn't really seem to be an opportunity for him to get back on gold. So I think this game is probably over. But I don't obviously begrudge, we don't begrudge Jordan trying to push back, especially seeing he does have the villager count. If he can push back a little bit, just have some access to gold, that will be crucial. We saw in the last game that Hera managed to access gold with having a perfect castle placement. And that access to gold really helped him. Jordan is going to take a good fight here though with the pikemen. But the extra pierce armor for the knights for the Teutons player really makes these fights a bit more efficient. I mean, even then I thought it was going to be a great fight, but actually the Teutons bonus really helps in these situations. And again, Jordan has no access to gold. He does have 920 in the bank, but he will struggle unless he gets some gold. I'm going to go for this back stone, which is certainly going to be useful for him and very important. If he can get a castle, if he can get a castle on the hill, which he won't be able to now with this castle going up from Hera and no kind of signs of Jordan being able to deny that. Hera being an Imperial Age, Jordan calls the GG. Well played, guys. The points go to Hera. So 3-1 to Hera. Oh yeah, I think the Teuton Armor A is actually just for melee. Having a look at some of the stats, Hera managed to hold off from the early aggression from Jordan on Gold Rush being relatively a closed map. It meant that Hera was able to boom behind and really push back in mid Castle Age. The Castle Age time was really effective for Hera. Jordan managed to put down 3 TCs and kind of get a very strong economy behind it, but didn't have the army to back it up. And Hera managed to take some really effective fights with the monks and the knights behind it. That was a really nice game. Hera taking that game with the best of 5. So it looks like Hera will win the best of 5.